Most players think you should have a tier 5 to win a KVK, but that belief is exactly why they lose fights they should be winning. Because the real problem is not your tier, it's how you're making decisions in the fight. And today I'm going to show you why players with lower power, even tier 4, are beating stronger players and what they're doing differently. And this is the topic that is from the time the Call of Dragons was created. Back in the days, we was having in season 1 people opening the tier 5. And there was a people that was still like tier 3, you know. And you see tier 5, you see tier 3, it's the difference is way too big. Okay, between the tier 3 and tier 5 I can say is big, but tier 4 you can do the things differently. And I have tested all these things in KVKs. I'm from the global launch of Call of Dragons. I think I have like over 1,000 days. I think it's even more, like 1,100 days playing a Call of Dragons, which is crazy amount of time. I have been in a situation where the Alliance has almost no tier 5 players. We was one of the most, I don't know if the right word is poor kingdoms, but we was having like 2 people who opened the tier 5 like 1 week before the season 1 end, and some KVK was having like maybe like 40 people who opened tier 5. So I have been in all these different environments, and today I want to talk about this. And what I saw in all these environments is the players are winning where the players winning were not the strongest one. They were just making better decision. Now, what this mean? I mean, saying something to somebody, they make a better decision. What this mean? This mean the right positioning, the right troop type. Because if you're free-to-play player and you go infantry main, you're going to have hard time, okay? You're not going to have awakened heroes. You're going to fill your hospital, you're out. But if you're a free-to-play player with the mages, then it's way more different. So let's say one situation with world tier 5 environment. In many KVKs, especially early or balanced servers, there are very few tier 5 players, especially at the beginning. Sometimes only 1-2 per kingdom, like what is happening to me. Now, what most players do wrong? They see a tier 5 and immediately assume we're fighting this. It's like it's the most hard thing, because you can clearly see where is the tier 5. I mean, if I go out, one of the things this is going to be a tip for you is I'm going to go with let's say Gorish and Kuma. Now see, it's yellow. You can clearly see this is yellow. No matter what kind of other troop I put here, let's say tier 4 swordsman, you're going to see that they're basically not the same color. They still have some yellow, but you see the difference between these two armies. So the people, what the people do wrong is they avoid engagement, spread out, and they just play passive. What I mean about they avoid engagement, especially when you are under a last territory. Right now we're pushing. So it's going to be hard when you do some push. I mean, especially when the enemy side is having some bastions and you have to somehow penetrate those bastions. Bastions everywhere. Oh my god, it's a cow of bastions. But at the end of the day, when you go under enemy alliance territory, is one idea more hard, okay? There you need coordination. But if you're under your alliance territory, just jump between the castles and do. I have on my channel a rat strategy. You can go and check it out. It's a way how to approach when the enemy is more stronger and you want to still get awesome traits. Go check it out, this strategy after this video. But if you're under alliance territory, there is basically zero reason why you should not actually approach the enemy. One of the biggest things that you're going to have is going to be, from the point of military, you're getting these Blessed Ground increase defense of Alliance members' legions, which is like 10% defense and 10% attack under Alliance. So you're getting 10% attack, 10% defense. So by just having those things, you're basically in a very nice spot. Even as a tier 4, you're getting in extra. Obviously, I don't want to point out go get milestones and something like this, but don't avoid the fight, especially under Alliance territory. Just maybe do a rat strategy or gather somewhere with somebody and try to do something. Now, let's talk about why this is inefficient. This gives the tier 5 players exactly what they want. Free map control, free farming pressure, free picks on weak targets. You're not losing because of power, you're losing because you give them the control. This is something that people are fighting over and over again, and I think the majority of the Alliance leaders understand is every centimeter you give is something that you're going to have to get back under enemy Alliance territory. And that's why the siege here, as you can see, some crazy siege going on. I mean, bastion next to other bastion. The reason behind is if somebody get or give some territory, after this you have to go back and destroy towers, destroy bastions, destroy keeps. It's just making the things very complicated. So yeah, you don't want to give for free some map control or farming pressure. Now, what to do instead? You need to shift your mindset. Let's start from there. Now, KVK is not about one-on-one. It's about pressure and control. And this is something that you as a normal player in the Alliance you may not actually achieve, because it's depending over the leadership and blah blah blah. But if you're apart from the leadership, this is definitely can help you, you know, keep your most competitive players in your Alliance. And one of the things is a single tier 5 cannot 5 coordinate. It basically cannot kill like 5 tier 4 marches. It's having focus fire and re-engage a cycle. This is what it cannot fight. And back in the days when I was in season 1, I actually fight against. I was fresh opened tier 4. And what is the difference fresh opened and tier 4 players is you're having some upgrades here. Now, if you go and you just open the tier 4. That's fine, but you're going to have only this till this point here. You're not going to have defense formation, assault strategy, and all these things, or some of those maybe level it up. You're not going to have it. You're just going to have this infantry. And you're missing from more legion defense 25%, HP 25%, all these things which actually cost a lot of time. And max you can go assault strategy to level 7 because you have to finish all the gathering or economy tech till the end before you proceed from level 7 and above in the assault strategy. So actually opening tier 5. Opening tier 5, you're basically going to need everything, level it up and research it. But anyway, my point is with fresh tier 4 is so hard to fight against tier 5. And this is a real scenario. One of the players, because we was fighting against these 2 tier 5 players that was in our KVK, in our server, not KVK. And we actually take the dragon, by the way, and win the season. But there was Hoskinara, that was the tier 5 combo, was farming our Alliance keeps. It was painful because this combo was able to kill like 6-7. Actually, I'm not quite sure 6-7, but yeah, it was killing so much things. Now, let's say a tier 5 player tries to zero a weak player. What most players do wrong, they panic and shatter. Everyone runs in their different direction. Now this is why this is inefficient. Now the tier 5 player can pick the target, can be one-on-one, reset the fight, and take 0 risk. Now, if the tier 5 is seeing somebody like, for example, me, and want to strike me and I'm like tier 4, if there is no support from anybody, he's basically going to go alone against this player, and obviously he's going to get some very good trades in his direction. On the other side, if the rest of the alliance actually support and help this player, something that is good, but I'm going to explain some bad cases about this where you can actually make more bad to the person from this to help him. But yeah, you can just help the person. But here is the thing: if there is a rally, you can go in and out, and you're going to fill the castle troops again. But don't do it more from like 2 times or maybe 3, because from there you're basically hurting this castle that you're going in and out, and there is a rally that is rallying this castle. At least from battle reports I see, this is one of the things that I strongly don't suggest people do that. Now, and yeah, if you're starting to see that this is more about decision than power, that's exactly what this channel is all about. Playing smarter, not harder. So don't forget to hit 1 like on this video and also subscribe. Now, situation: strongest player always win. This is the biggest myth and cow of dragons. They judge fights only by power numbers. If he has more power, we lose. But yeah, I actually, back in the days, some people are going to remember, I think the majority of my audience is going to remember, but back in the days we was having one dude called Nefisto, and this bad boy was having over 1 billion power. Yeah, it's 1 billion power. We was joking that this dude actually needs just 1 server or 1 kingdom just for him. So fighting against this bad boy with over 35 million troops, I actually have a video about how I strike his castle. But yeah, the point is, he was having crazy amount of troops, but at the end of the day, he's having just like 5 marches that can have outside. The heroes may finish their stamina. I mean, I have seen him fighting with Chakche and Kewa. That means all the heroes' stamina is finished, and the bad boy is just running Chakche and Kewa. It was absolutely wild, but yeah. Even that the power is more, don't judge by this. Now, why this is inefficient? Power does not equal to positioning, timing, target selection, and those decide fights more than the stats. It's more like having your mages hitting the right target, not overcommit on some range target, for example. The right timing where, for example, you know where the majority of your players in your alliance is online, and make a pushes at this point where you basically push, because defense is different story, but the push, you're going to need everything you have, because you're going to fight under enemy alliance territory, which, you know, is it can be actually a problem. So timing and target selection is, yeah, I mean, right now in Call of Dragons with those infantry is little hard. I think I have some fights from yesterday with my Yuming, but look at this thing: 11k, 20k. Look at this thing. I mean, I take 18k and he'd give me like 6k. So from statistic, the counter attack is like 36k. And I got 11k from the pet. Look at this thing. It's just crazy, those numbers, especially the counter attack. I mean, most likely I'm actually in his range, so his counter attack is even bigger. That's why the traits are like this, because the pet actually hit me, and this pet, Mosrock Auroch, is having melee range, so I was in melee range against this team. So maybe this is one of the reasons why the reports are looking like this, but at the end of the day, infantry are doing some crazy counter attack, but this is not actually The point is just be selective with the targets. If you see infantry under 50%, just kill this infantry. You're going to receive less counter attack. And all these small things, let me know if you want this type of video. I mean, the smart timing, smart positioning, and smart targeting you want to see on this channel. Just let me know in the comments below. Just write Burgas. I'm looking for this target timing positioning video. Yeah, just let me know so I can know should I actually make a video about this, because I think majority of the players think they know where they should positioning, but at the end of the day the reports show everything. So what do you do instead? Now we know why it's inefficient is basically the positioning, timing, and target selection, but what we should do instead? Start thinking in fighting condition, not power. Ask, is it isolated? Is this infantry or whatever tier 5 troop isolated? Is it part from the big bow? So if it's isolated, easy peasy, you're going to destroy it. But if it's like part from a, you know, big mage bow or infantry bow or cavalry bow, things are a little more different. Now, is he overextended? Is he out of positioning? I think, by the way, is out of positioning and is he isolated is the same thing, because if you're out of positioning, most likely you're actually isolated. So yeah, this is the most easy targets, because even when you start striking this target, even if they go at you, more people from your alliance is going to continue striking this target, so you end up maybe like 20-30 to 1, and this is way more easy to actually beat these legions when he's out of positioning. That's why I took positioning in Call of Dragons is more important. It's so much important. So what most players do in a situation where okay, maybe this thing we already say that. Now let's talk about situations stamina war, because I think this is maybe what hurt the whales and krakens the most, and this is the stamina war. Now what most players do wrong, they try to win fight instantly, but this is not the case in Call of Dragons. Definitely it's not, especially when right now is even more hard to have your troops kill it, because you can buy it at the end of the season. You have 50% resurrection and other 45%, let's say it like this. You can just buy them at the end of the season. So people are start having more and more and more troops at the end of the day, and this is expand the how much time one war was how much time you're doing one war. Back in the days, one war was like from 1 to 2 days up to 1 week. Right now this thing can be like 2 weeks. Again, strongly depend how people rush, and yeah, if you try to win instantly, this is something that people think I believe is doing wrong, but this is more like alliance leadership, something that they should actually focus there. Now, why this is inefficient when you try to win instantly? And KVK is not about one fight, it's about who can keep fighting longer. And tier 5 players burn stamina fast, especially whales and krakens, they burn stamina fast. So here is something that I noticed, by the way, when I was fighting here. I noticed that, for example, we're having something like whale or kraken or something like this, who is non-stop sending infantry, but the rest of the players are not sending infantry. We end up in situation where we're having enough amount of infantry on both sides, but on enemy side, let's say this is just a situation, on the enemy side, they're always, every single player are having one legion. And let's say this legion right now, the best one is Kuma with Joran, but I don't have Kuma with Joran, okay? For open field, I have Goresh with Kuma. So let's say every person have Goresh with Kuma, and you have couple whales that is spamming infantry. From the first beginning, or from the beginning, it's looking like you and the enemy is having the same amount of infantry, but at the end of the day, your whales, when they finish their infantry stamina, the enemy is going to continue using their infantry. And here is the thing, this is the best combo. I mean, Kuma with Joran is going to be the best combo. So if you're basically, if your players are using let's say Kuma with Joran, they're getting the best value from their infantry, because it's different when you put Garwood with Ileana, or I don't know, let's say Madeline with Skogu, or whatever, Danfield with Mogro. It's way more different from this to use actually the best heroes right now. It's something like using Yu Ming as a mage. It's just making the difference right there. That's why the stamina war is very very important, and this is in one fight fighting the stamina, because you know tomorrow you're going to have stamina again, but keep fighting longer is also right way of fighting. Right positioning, right trades, everything to be positive and in your direction. Like this, you're going to lose less troops from this to have a negative trades, because believe it or not, I think with negative trades, if you're making negative trades, you're filling your hospital like from 2 to 3 times more faster from this to actually have positive trades. That's why, you know, this is also very important. And the stamina war, again, if only the whales on the enemy side is sending infantry, at one point you're going to crush them. At one point you're going to crush them. Now what to do instead is to play longer fights, is re-engage. You know, if your legion is hitting like 30%, you can reinforce, go back to your castle and go to get full legion and go to the battlefield. Why this thing is done is because you're doing more damage on the full capacity. For example, your legion is 300 from 300k. You're doing big damage. At 50% you're going to do less damage. At 30% you're going to do even less damage. So just go back in your castle, get full legion, get full damage, and go back on the battlefield. This is something like re-engagement. Rotate marches. This is something that I do. Sometimes I go with my mages, and sometimes, you know, when I get back with my mages, I actually go out with 2 or 3 infantry marches, which is for helping my players on the battlefield, because somebody have to bring some infantry, and I'm rotating mages, marches. This is also a way to stay longer and fight longer. And force stamina drain is one of the things that I really like, and this is when I see somebody who, for example, is having, I don't know, I can actually see, but somebody is having like 70 or 80 million power. I know that this person is not having that much troops left. So every force I do over him and take out his troops, I'm going to take him out from the fight at one point. So this is also one of the things, but it's not actually stamina drain, it's like troops drain. And stamina drain is, you cannot force or reinforce a stamina drain over the person who is playing carefully. Only a person who is like throwing like Whale or Kraken, throwing their troop in enemy direction, you can basically drain their stamina. So let's talk about other situation. I'm trying to now. This video is made it around some different situation where, you know, what to do in this and that situation, or there's close situation to the one I'm sharing. You have some idea what most likely I'm going to do. Now, situation, we need more power. What most players do wrong is they think the solution is just wait until we get stronger. From there start some recruits of whales and krakens and etc. And the thing is activity. Now, why this is inefficient? You lose time queue and map control, and it's something, and it's not something you can change from today to tomorrow. You know, when you see some players that's like 150 million power, you're like 60 million power. What kind of power you can do to change the difference? Basically nothing. But still, I believe that the activity is the key here. And one of the things is activity, and what to do instead in this situation is use what you have efficiently. Tier 4 with good decisions is going to beat Tier 5 with bad decision. If you see somebody strolling like 5 infantry legions, get 1 infantry, stick them together, and wait and let your mages with the AoE artifacts and spells to destroy these 5 Tier 5 legions. It's easy peasy. Now, what kind of other situation I can actually say is, for example, early KVK decisions. What most players do wrong is they waste early fights, and this is something that I actually do a lot. I'm 100% online when we're doing defense, 100%, and like 80-90%, close to 100 when we're pushing. But yeah, every early fight is going to help you. And why I'm saying that, because right now if I open my merits shop, I'm having like 179,000 merits. So why this is an issue right now for me? Because I have this spell, Boot Roar, I have Fatal Bite, and I didn't even buy the universal blueprints. And today, I don't know when this video is going to come online, most likely today, but today is Friday. So I have like 3 days to get enough, like over 1.5 million merits to be able to get these very solid spells. And this is just the spells including. We're not talking about this warrant or the elixirs or the elixirs and all these things. So, you know, every fight you're getting is stockpile your merits, and at one point, believe it or not, you may end up in this situation when you have some crazy good pet cards, best in SWAT pet cards, and you're just not having enough merits. I'm just recording this video, and most likely I'm also going to jump in the fight here. I actually did a lot of fights. I'm having like 13.5 million merits, so I'm not like slacking, but I just get this luck. And if I get more early fights and more fights, most likely I was going to be able to afford at least one of these 2 spells, or if not the both of these spells. Now, why this inefficient when you're wasting early fights, or you basically don't participate in them? You're losing momentum, confidence, and map control, especially when the gates open. If you're not there, oh brother, I don't think I have to say that, but if you're not there when the gate open and you let your alliance to go alone without you, you may have some problems in form of enemy do a staff play. They slow down your fast building speed. All these things, all these manipulations and strikes is going to have bigger weight over your alliance. And the less towers you're putting, the more towers the enemy is putting. So in this situation, you have to destroy more towers, and the enemy have to destroy less towers. This is the early momentum. And something else from point of confidence, if you see the enemy is like at the middle of the map and you're still struggle to build your tower number 5, well, you start, you know, losing this confidence, and you're like, are we sure we can actually beat these guys? I mean, this is just a normal player mindset. Is like looking the map control, and like, oh bro, I don't know, I'm not so sure. Now, what to do instead is obviously play the early fight smart and be present there. Even low power is going to have high impact in the early fights, because if you catch somebody with the building speed, you can make some crazy stuff there. Now, if this is changing how you see the fights, drop a like. It tell me you want more of this kind of strategy breakdowns in Call of Dragons. So let's get on two more situation, and one is going to be, we can't beat whales. This is one of the situations that I hear over and over again. We cannot beat the whales. Well, what most players do wrong is they mentally give it up. I mean, this is the moral. I like to use the word moral, but imagine if you strike somebody, for example, the gate open, you do one staff play, and for the next 30 minutes or 1 hour, the enemy cannot move. Basically, you have tons of troops there. Till they clear these troops, it's like taking half hour, maybe 1 hour. From first look, the enemy is going to lose motivation, because they're going to be like, oh my god, they're so strong and stuff like this. But it can be different situation. It can be because this alliance is having peak activity moment right now, and the enemy alliance is in the downtime, and it can be many stuffs. But yeah, the moral is something crazy, and especially if you give it up. If you give it up, this is brutal. And if you give it up, and the person next to you from your alliance is not giving up, this person that are next to you at one point is going to give it up very soon, because he's alone there, you're not there. So it's like a domino effect in this situation, when the mentality of some players go and give it up, and basically everybody mentality go and give it up, and from there the alliances disband. I mean, never give it up. I mean, this is one thing for me. If you have to take it from this video, is just never give it up. I mean, fool your hospital, have enough troops just to clear the Darkling patrols or to capture your pets, and that's all. I mean, but don't give it up with full troops in your castle. This is just not the right approach. And why this is inefficient, I think the majority of the people know that. You stop trying optimal play. What to do instead? This is how you see the whales. What to do instead? Treat whales as object, not threats. Bite them, drain them, punish mistake. And back in the days, I actually get some bites. What the bite is actually looking like? Let's say this is my castle, and we're fighting in this territory. What I'm doing is I'm sending one legion inside this. I mean, yo guys, if you want me to make a video about this type of strategy, how I bite the people, just let me know in the comments below. And this is a legion that is gathering right now. What I'm looking is, I definitely know that somebody is going to strike this legion, and I'm waiting this somebody to actually come so I can actually swarm them. Now, they're not going to put a scout and see that there is a Goresh Kuma inside. Most likely they're thinking that there is some donkeys and stuff like this, and they're not going to look that there is a full legion here, because if they do a scouting, they're going to see that they know that I may actually see that they scout me, and I'm going to take out my gathering troops. So the bite is already there. They're not going to do anything else except to strike this. So I can say there is a situation, maybe also here. Okay, here maybe not that much, but yeah. This is the bite. This is the bite in this node. And the moment the enemy cavalry come here, you basically just rush them with I don't know, mages, marksman, other infantry. Your Goresh go out, Spirit Bone Torque is activated. You're going to get some crazy results. And if they try to strike your solid legions, let's say mages, if you're mage main, you just go back in the castle, and they go out. I mean, they start moving in some direction, and you can go out with your troops. You're going to lose stamina, yeah, by doing that, but at the end of the day, you're going to get some good traits from the biting in situation where this is the best you can actually do. And you're going to drain this player at the end of the day, because you're going to have these positive traits of the surprise. And sometimes the surprise is what actually winning, because till the player understands what is going on, he's not like sitting and moving the map around his horses. But even if it takes him like 5 seconds till he understands what is happening, and 5 seconds is not that much time, to be fair, you can do some crazy damage over there. So yeah, I mean, there is a different situation, as I already mentioned, bite strategy, zone control, march management, resource thinking, especially the resource thinking. Maybe I can say a couple words about the resource thinking. Is what the most players do wrong. They think about the troops. This is one of the, you know, the resource thinking stuff, and why this is inefficient. They ignore time, positioning, momentum. Now, one thing I always do is, especially if we're at the losing side and I'm already have my hospital full, when I see we're fighting under Alliance territory, I'm actually buying. I'm buying with resources my troops. On the question why, is just because I know I'm going to get the best rates. If I'm defending, I'm getting the best trades. This is what I want to say from point of getting about the timing, positioning, and momentum, because you're going to have the momentum, you're going to have the positioning under Alliance territory, and you need troops to do that. So yeah, this is the thinking of what give me more advantage. And if you get more advantage in this situation, it can be actually a choke point also. If you get more advantages in this situation, more good for you, and definitely you should go and and buy some troops with resources, but not only do this. I mean, only resource heal without any kind of reasons. And for example, you're getting bad traits, but you do a resource healing. This is not the right approach. Just wait better conditions and do resource healing. Now, if you want actually to improve your KVK performance, not just grind power, don't forget to subscribe, because this channel is about one thing: making better decisions than everybody else. Just yeah, make better decision from everybody else. So yeah guys, this will be for this video. I really not going to try to make it longer. I really hope some tips and tricks, so see some situation explanation help you get more efficient in what you're doing in Call of Dragons. I wish you a great day, and yeah, see you in the next video.